Hey guys, it's Capitalism here, also known as Mint on the Smoke Mills forums. I've got a guide for you today which is going to be for anyone with wealth from around 10k to 100 mil. This is going to be all fairly low input methods of merchanting, the sort of thing where you're going to be making all your money while you're offline. And when you come on, you've got all your money to play with and you can do with it whatever you want. Okay, so the first part of this guide is going to be for people with very low wealth, or it can be for people with high wealth who just have got a couple of free GE slots. And these sort of flips, they're just quite fun to do really, just to see how much profit you can get away with. Okay, I'm going to go into the item criteria here. There's two important factors which will kind of determine how successful your item will be, and if it fits this criteria, then it quite likely will be a good item to flip. Okay, number one is, will people be willing to buy or sell the item for far above or below the median price? So this would be stuff like quest items. So, for example, if you're going to do a quest, you will happily put in a high offer for the item because you want to get it quickly and don't want to have to wait around at GE. And if you've just finished a quest and you've got loads of junk in your bank, you might want to just get rid of that quest junk, and you would sell it for, say, 1 GP just to get shot of it. Okay, number two is, will you be able to buy the item at those prices that they put in? So if someone tries to buy this quest item at, say, 1,000 times the median price, will you actually be able to sell it to that person? So if it's a highly traded item, what's going to happen is there's always going to be loads and loads of people that are willing to sell it for much less, and they'll sell it for around median price, and that will mean that you will never be able to sell it to that highest bidder. Obviously, it's the same with the other way around. Okay, so as you can see, I'm buying raw bear meat for 1 GP and selling it for 5k. This is an item I did for quite a long time. Unfortunately, I've lost a few of the screenshots, but it just shows what massive percent profits you can get off an item if you're patient and if you find the right item. Okay, this is the part of the guide which is based on people who have at least 10 or 30 mil. So first of all, what you're going to want to do is head over to a site that has Runescape items on. I use GE Updater because it's my favourite for several reasons, which I'm not going to go into in this video. But you can go from the Runescape homepage, and there's GE Central, and there's quite a few other sites. Anyway, this is the one I use. So you're going to want to click on items, and then sort by price. Now the first page is rares and stuff, which I'm not going to be discussing in this video, and they're not very good for this type of merchanting. But it's when you start to get a little bit further down, and you want to find items that are fairly uncommonly traded. Now this Statius Warhammer, that's an item I've used before. I've at one point I managed to make about 2.5 mil per flip on these. I was actually managed to flip 2 an hour at some points, which was really good because it's really low input. You just put in the offers and it sorts itself out. Okay, with the Statius Warhammer, the thing is that if someone wants to buy one, it's quite likely there won't be someone selling one, or won't be someone selling one at a reasonable price. So the person buying it will be forced to put in a high offer. They'll put in an offer of, you know, quite often, maybe 15% above med, which is, quite a lot. And similarly, when people are selling them, because of the lack of people trading them, it can actually be, you can actually pick them up for low prices. The only thing to be wary of with these is that they have, because of the low amount traded, you will get what is called a stepped graph, and as you can see, it goes flat and flat, and it's not curved like it would be on a highly traded item. This basically, there has to be a certain amount traded for a certain price before the price will change on the Grand Exchange. For the median price will change. So that's why it's stepped like that, and that means that the graphs can be way off the actual price of them, the actual street price. So you do need to be wary, and it is possible to lose money. Okay, a few other items around here that could be good are, I've not personally tried them, Fury Ornament Kit, Third Age Mage Hat, Third Age Amulet. These are all sort of fairly low traded items. See, for example, with Dragon Claws, there's something that's flipped very, very commonly, and there's always going to be people buying and selling them, and there's no way you're going to get a high percent on any of these. The only time you would flip claws is if you're going to be constantly at the GE, but that's not what I'm showing in this video. And obviously you can go further through to the other pages. With that same set of criteria in your mind, you've just got to think, which things are not very highly traded. Things like ornament kits could be good, and Zami pages. You've just got to be patient with the item, and you've got to test the water a lot. Okay, so I'm going to use Statius Warhammer as my example. Okay, so as you can see, the graph is going down a lot, and good to get a general overview. I'm not going into graphs in any detail really here, but you can see that it's, it could be near a rise, like over here, but it's quite likely it's still gonna keep on falling. And obviously, if anything, you're gonna want to try and put in your offers extremely low, and if they don't fill after a few days, you want to raise your offers a little bit. And with this sort of item, it's not like normal flipping in the way that I don't do test buys. I just kind of test the water and try and kind of think what the price will be, and just slowly work up until you find it. And it's quite a bit of work at the beginning, and you have to get used to it. But I've had items. This item's always been quite profitable. I've got another item which I've used, and it's been working pretty much consistently for pretty much a year now, and I've got a very good knowledge of where the prices are going to be and what margins I can expect, and that's a bit of time investment you're going to have to put in at the beginning. But once you get the hang of it, you'll kind of you'll have a general spidey sense for what the right price is, and yeah, it'll all get a bit easier after the initial input. Okay, so from the example you can see that I was gonna buy it for a nice low price. Now, this is really very unscientific. I just kind of will see what I think the margins could be. Now, the graph did look like it was really crashing, so I think this is a fairly reasonable price. This is 10% under, and what I do is rather than just either putting in an exact number or putting it up, I really go by these percentages, because if someone's buying something, they're quite often not going to just type in the price. They're going to just double click this. So you want to have something that's around these marks, because say if you have something halfway between, when someone buys it for 10% less, you're going to end up buying it. You're going to end up selling it to them for say 7.5% when you could be making 10% or thereabouts. So yeah, you're going to want to put it down around 10%. That's what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to round it up a fair bit, something like that. It's really just kind of get the feel for it, and then I would put in an offer and confirm, and it's instant buyed. So I completely didn't judge that right. It's crashing very, very, very hard, and I almost lost a lot of money. Okay, right. This isn't the perfect example, but I'll talk you through it anyway. Okay, so I'm gonna put in my sell offer. Gonna go down. I'm gonna sell it for around here. I'm gonna sell it for 13,447k. The reason I'm doing that is in case someone put 13,450, because that's quite a nice round number. Just going a little bit underneath that. That's kind of how I sort out my pricings. So I'm going to try and sell that, and I'm going to put in a buy offer for oh yes, and one thing I'll just say is when you go down with this 5%, you shouldn't, if you've gone too far, you shouldn't go up with the 5%, because that will give you different numbers. Yeah, that will give you different numbers to the ones you had before, because it does 5% of the current number, not an additional 5%. So yeah, just be aware of that. So you want to go back to market if you've gone too far. Okay, so I'll go down to 12,160, and I'm gonna put in an offer for 12,160 to 12k. So I think that's a reasonable price, really. That's 800k less than the instant buy price was. And 800k is quite a standard amount of profit for one of these. So I'm going to put in an offer for one. Normally, when I'm buying them, when I'm stable, because I haven't flipped these for a while. But when I'm kind of stable and I'm really up to date with the prices, I'll put in an offer for quite a few more than that. Obviously, it takes a while for them to buy, but it's nice to keep them in there. So I'm going to put in my buy offer there, and luckily it didn't insta buy again. That would have been a little bit worrying. So yes, I've got these two offers in now. This guide I really need to get out quickly for this deadline, but I will make an updated guide where I can show what happens here. Um, okay, so this is pretty much the end of the guide. I would expect these offers to fill. You can never be completely certain. Um, yeah, I've got no idea if they'll fill, but I'm fairly confident they will. And if I do lose money on this, then I think it will be quite minimal. And it even when you do lose money, which does happen occasionally, quite rarely, only really if you're not used to the item or you haven't flipped it for a while. But if whenever you lose money, you will learn something about the item. You will learn about its price and yeah, and you so long as you've got a bit of common sense, you will end up profiting. This is the first time that I've had something like this happen actually. But I think it's good to show you guys, it's not all going to be perfect, and there will be things that will surprise you, but you've got to try and just turn it around and make it into profit. Okay, well, I hope this guide helped you. Yeah, I hope it helped you, and I hope you make lots of money using this method. And the key to it is just remembering to regularly check it. And I would say if it's going well, you've got say 2 items like this with maybe 100 mil. You could make 5 mil a day fairly comfortably, just so long as your items are working and you're constantly updating. And that's 5 mil a day from incredibly minimal work. And yeah, those 5 mils really do add up. So yeah, hope you enjoyed my guide, and good luck merchanting. Okay, I just thought I'd let you know about 15 minutes after I made that last skip, I managed to sell this. So I made about 450k off it, which is very good. So there we go. I have made profit, and if I buy this, I'll sell it for that price and make some more money. Okay, I'd just like to add one last thing, and that is patience is a virtue. I got quite lucky there. I managed to resell it in 15 minutes. But you can end up waiting, um, possibly a week, really, to sell items. So you just need to be prepared that the money you invest in it, could well be tied up for a while, and you just need to sit it out and play the long game. Okay, see you guys.